We arrived Friday afternoon down in southeastern Kentucky, near the Robinson Forest area, and decided to do a little scouting and listened a little bit, looked a little bit, and saw some very likely looking areas. Kind of had a game plan for what we're going to do the next morning.
Now, we're talking kind of quiet in this interview because we've got elk behind us and we're hunting back here tomorrow. We're with Commissioner Doug Hensley, and we're hunting with some kids tomorrow. How did this thing come about?
Well, we're on the Paul Van Boogel Wildlife Management Area, and last year, some of the commission members were up and we were talking, and wouldn't this be a nice place to have maybe a special draw for a youth hunt? This is a great area to do that because it's an archery only and it's quiet, usually pretty quiet, and it's a good place.
Then we arrived back at camp and met Cameron and his dad Tim. Had a nice chat, went over some things, actually got the gun out and without shells, ran through a couple scenarios. Okay, stay on it. Keep looking at it. Keep looking at it. Then a little bit later, we went into the dining hall and had a guide meeting.
Kentucky May is actually ICG property, okay? So this is Kentucky May right through here. You will have everything from this side out, okay? The key is we want them to kill an elk. Mind your boundaries, but if they're on the edge of the boundary and there's nobody working them, then work them.
Next morning, well, it was raining. Well, it was pouring. But that didn't stop us. We decided to go ahead and get out in there. First thing we knew, we heard one bugling, went after him.
Stay on me, we're making a move. Stay on me. We're gonna go around and try to work this bull. There's two bulls up there. We got the wind coming this way.
This guy was a beautiful elk, but he was just a little far out, and by the time we got on him, he went into the woods. A little while later, we were hunting this huge bowl area, looked up on the hill and saw one come into our field. He went down behind a bunch of thick stuff and stayed there for the better part of half an hour. We could see that he wasn't going to move out, so we made the long trek down to a high knob, and I figured in this rain, he was probably standing down there just kind of miserable in the rain. Got set up, but this rain does funny things to the scope of a gun, and he never could really get him. He was within range, everything was good, but he just couldn't see through his scope, so this one got away. We tried this open area and began to see that a lot of the elk were fairly spooky, so we decided to go into their home range where they were bedding down during the heat of the day, and we found a huge amount of sign. You could actually smell where the elk had been. Sunday morning, thank goodness the rain has stopped. A little bit cooler, and we thought the elk would really be bugling. Guess what? You know how these things go. Hardly a peep, hardly any bugling. These animals seem to be a little bit call shy, so our strategy had to change drastically. A couple times we got set up, had wonderful opportunities, but just couldn't get it done, and that's typical elk hunting. We began tracking this animal, that it had tracks over top of our tracks, and I knew this was less than 20 minutes old, so I just started tracking. Next thing you know, we came upon this elk bedded down. He stood up. I had to call him to stop.
Shoot him. Shoot him. Yeah! Woo! You are the man!
Yeah, give me 5.
Yes! Oh man!
Next thing you know, we had an elk on the ground. I am with Cameron Fugate, and we've spent the better part of 2 days in the woods. We were hunting. I mean hunting on Kentucky's first youth elk hunt. You can see what kind of terrain we're in. I bet we walked, it's hard telling how many miles we walked through these woods. But you talk about a unique rack. He's been hurt, broke it off, and his brow tine's kind of going that way. Well, hey, congratulations, shake my hand. Let's get him clean. Let's take him back to camp. Let's show him off. And you're gonna have some good eating and a beautiful animal to mount on the wall. Tim, Fugate.
Yeah. You gotta be proud.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Tell us what happened.
We came back around that road, and that bull was bedded down, and it came up and went up the side of a tree, stood broadsided, and offered him about a what would you say, a 50-yard shot?
Yeah, and it was just.
It's a good shot, and got him set up on it, and he done what we'd practiced.
Buddy, thank you so much for letting us go along.
It's good to get to hunt with you guys.
And memories forever.
Oh, absolutely.